Shabbat Shalom. So we remembered, for a while we were kind of backwards. You know, we started the Jewish War Veterans, the Fred Sklar North Louisiana Jewish War Veterans Post. I think that's our official name. Is that right? Anybody remember? Something like that. I think I left out a few words. I don't know. But we started it in the spring. And so the first event that we did, no, we started it in the fall. The first event we did was Veterans Day. And we started doing poppies for Veterans Day. We put the flags out for Veterans Day and realized only later that it was more appropriate to do the poppies and the flags essentially for Memorial Day than it was for Veterans Day. So we have decided, and we spoke to the national organization, and you know that the Jewish War Veterans is the oldest war veterans organization in America. And so they said it doesn't matter, they do it for both. So I wanted to tell you before we begin a little bit about the poppy thing to remind you, because there's something about this year that was extra special. As you know, because we've talked about it before, but the red poppy came to symbolize the bloodshed protecting Americans' freedom. It started to represent the bloodshed following the wartime poem called In Flanders Fields, which was written by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, who was also a doctor, while he was serving on the front in World War I to honor soldiers killed in battle. But the popularity of the red poppy as a memorial to those who sacrificed their lives in war began in 1918, which is why I thought it was significant, because we are at 100 years. It was actually November of 1918, but I think we are close enough. When a woman named Moina Michael was so moved by the poem that she bought a bouquet of poppies on impulse, everything that New York City's Wanamaker department store had, and she handed them out to businessmen meeting at the New York City's YMCA, where she worked. She asked them to wear the poppy as a tribute to the fallen. World War I was over, but America's sons would rest forever in Flanders Field. Later, Moina would spearhead a campaign that resulted in the adoption of the poppy as the national symbol of sacrifice. In 1923, the poppy became the official flower of the American Legion, family, and other veterans organizations. So I don't know if you realize that veterans handcraft these flowers with assistance from unpaid volunteers. The veterans not only earn a small wage, which helps to supplement their incomes and makes them feel self-sufficient, but the physical and mental activity provides many therapeutic benefits. A veteran who devotes 5 to 6 hours per day assembling the red crepe paper poppies can make as many as 2,000 to 3,000 in a week. So the Jewish War Veterans told us that, excuse me, one of the things that many of their posts do is they sell them. Like they go to, you've seen them standing outside of, I've seen Sam's Club, Walmart, a few organizations allow this. We don't do that. That's not how we've been doing the fundraising. But the other thing, and I think that President Jana is going to tell us later, is that the other thing that we do with the money that we get that goes to the Jewish War Veterans, the Fred Sklar Post, is the flags that we put up and the flag holders that we put up. So Sunday we will be going back to the cemetery to make sure that all the flags are up in anticipation of Monday. I have to tell you, over the past few years that we've been doing this, it's only been a few, but usually the day that we pick, it winds up raining. I am hopeful. The Weather Channel is making it look hopeful that we can do this. Because of many requests, if you would like to carpool, we'll meet first at B'nai Zion at about 9:45. We'll meet at the Greenwood Cemetery at about 10. I will hand out maps to show you where you go to put them, and we'll fix the maps on the way, and mitzvahs all around. So I appreciate anybody who wants to help with that. Poppies, they're out there if you want. Are there still some out there? Who was the last one in? Did you see them on the table? All right, so you can take them and use them, have them for you on Memorial Day. Because it's Memorial Day is essentially about the people that we are remembering who gave the ultimate sacrifice to serve our country. Speaking of serving our country, I'm going to say a special hello because I have a soldier, a guy I married. I mean, I'm not married to him. Hi, wife, too. And he told me today, he has been deployed overseas. I don't know where he is, but he said hopefully he's watching tonight. We haven't always been successful on nights when he's tried to watch, so we're thinking about him today. And I don't know what your week was like, but it's been a tough week. It's been a very filled week, and I need a deep breath. I hope you do too, for Shabbat to begin. So we take a deep breath, let it out slowly. Try again. Let it out slowly. So as you can tell, even though Shavuot is over, I still didn't make it to get my hair cut. I tried. I really tried. We're getting closer. We will begin our service today on page 65 and rise as the members of the Sorky family will come up and lead us in the blessings. Page 65.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own way be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Let there be joy.
Let there be light.
And let there be peace.
Let there be Shabbat. We continue now. Are we doing mostly Hebrew or mostly English? Lee, it's your call.
Mostly English.
We turn to page 167 at the bottom and then 166 at the top as we bless the symbol of human joy, which means we use that symbol to sanctify Shabbat.
Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
On 166, the English.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. Oh, whoops, wrong one. Sorry.
It's okay. All
we
that
praise
joy.
you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You call us to holiness with the mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work, and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage. Our day of days, on Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen. Okay.
Now you can drink some more. I don't know if there's enough in there to drink more. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Please say Shabbat Shalom to someone you came in with, someone you did not come in with. Make sure everybody gets covered here. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Thanks. Nice job. We are going to continue at the bottom of page 67. We have come together to strengthen our bonds with our people Israel. Like Jews of generations past, we celebrate the grandeur of creation. Like Jews of every age, we echo our people's ancient call for justice. Our celebration is a sharing of memory and hope. We are Jews, but each of us is unique. We stand apart and alone with differing feelings and insights. And yet we are not entirely alone and separate, for we are children of one people and one heritage. Our celebration unites many separate selves into a single chorus. And we are one in search of life's meaning. All of us know despair and exaltation. All bear burdens. All have moments of despair, moments of weakness, and times of strength. All sing songs of sorrow and love.
May our celebration bring us strength along our way.
In this circle of hope, in the presence of the sacred, may the heart come to know itself and its best, finding a fresh impulse to love the good.
May our celebration bring us to work for the good, and may this Shabbat give strength to us and to our people Israel.
Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Many are the generations of Israel, and in every age we have sought the living God through Sabbath rest and worship. This time and place hold the power to increase our joy in the eternal. O God, even as we seek you in the sanctuary, help us to know that your glory fills all space. Make us understand that you are with us at all times if we but open our minds to you. We feel the presence of your Spirit in our homes and our ways. We see the beauty of your creation in mountain, sea, and sky, and in the human form. We hear you in the silence of our own hearts, speaking the truths the heart knows. May we be your witness to the world, your messenger to all the earth. May we show forth your image within us, the divine spark that makes us human. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hiruteh, v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'meru, amen. Yehesh merabba mevarach, le'alam ol me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpahar, v'yitramam, v'yinaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemeh dekudisha, brichu, le'la min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'miru, amen. Baruchu et Adonai, hamevorach, Baruch Adonai, hamevorach, le'olam va'ed. As day departs, as the dark of night descends, we lift our eyes to the heavens. In awe and wonder, our hearts cry out. Eternal God, how majestic is your name in all the earth. A vast universe, who can know it? What mind can fathom it? We look out to the endless suns and ask, what are we? What are our dreams and our hopes? What are we that you are mindful of us? What are we that you should care for us? And yet within us abides a measure of your spirit. You are remote, but oh, how near. Ordering the stars in the vast solitudes of the dark, yet whispering in our minds that you are closer than the air we breathe. For you have made us little less than divine and crowned us with glory and honor. With love and awe we turn to you, and in the dark of evening we seek the light of your presence. One and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love. We proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated unless you're in my bet class, and then I need you more than I can say. You have no idea. We will continue on page 72, but we will be led by the bet class. Come on. Go ahead.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. היו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבם ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your being. Set these words, which I command you this day, upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God who led you out of Egypt to be your God. I am your eternal God. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness, a world waiting still to be redeemed, give us, O source of good, the courage to say, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and your love. From Egypt, the house of bondage, we were delivered. At Sinai, amid peals of thunder, we bound ourselves to your purpose. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, we survived oppression and exile, time and again overcoming the forces that would have destroyed us. Our failings are many. Our faults are great. Yet it has been our glory to bear witness to our God and to keep alive in dark ages the vision of a world redeemed. May this vision never fade. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we sing with one accord, as Moses, Miriam, and Israel sang at the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh.
Nora tehilot osefele, Nora tehilot osefele. V'ne'emar, and it has been said, the Eternal One delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal God, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up to find our hearts waiting to do your will. We praise you, Guardian of Israel, whose love gives light to all the world. O God of Israel, may our worship on this day help us to grow in loyalty to our covenant with you and to the way of life it demands, the way of gentleness and justice, the path of truth and of peace. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Please rise for the tefillah, which begins on page 76. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, ve'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, they sought you in their lives. Now their quest is ours. Help us, O God, to celebrate the wonder of being. Give us the courage to search for truth. Teach us the path to a better life. So shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring near to realization the great hope inherited from ages past for a world transformed by liberty, justice, and peace. Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good. You are the source of life and blessing. Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children. You are the support of the fallen. Help us to lift up the fallen. You are the author of freedom. Help us to free the captive. You are our hope in death as in life. Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust. Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good. You are Kadosh, holy. Your name is Kadosh, holy. And those who strive to be Kadoshim, holy, declare your glory day by day. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomere, shomere, shomere Shabbat, koreh oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshe, mekadeshe shvi Shabbat, kulam yisbehu v'yitangu mituvecha Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomere, shomere, shomere Shabbat, koreh oneg Shabbat. I forgot where I was. Where are we? V'hashvi, that's where, Ratzita bo, I got into it. Ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat, chemdat yamim oto karata Shabbat. Because this part sounds the same every time. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomere, shomere, shomere Shabbat, koreh oneg Shabbat. Zecher lema'aseh, lema'aseh v'reshit Shabbat. Zecher lema'aseh, lema'aseh v'reshit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, shomere, shomere, shomere Shabbat, koreh oneg Shabbat. I like that one. You are with us in our prayer, in our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Eternal source of good, we give thanks for the numberless gifts and blessings that fill our days, for life itself and its endless variety, for all that sustains body and mind, for love and friendship, for the delights of the senses, and for the excellence of your Torah, which deepens our life and enriches our days. Teach us, God of wonders, to work for a just and compassionate society, where all may share your gifts in the joy of freedom. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country, that it may always be a stronghold of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship among the inhabitants of all lands, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. We take a moment now for silent prayer. יהיו לרצון.
May the words of my mouth
אמרי פי והגיון ליבי
and the meditations of my heart
לפניך
be acceptable to you.
לפניך
Be acceptable to you.
אדוני צורי
O God, my rock,
צורי וגואלי
my rock and my redeemer.
אדוני צורי
God, my rock
וגואלי
and redeemer.
This time in our service, our prayers and our hearts to those turn to those who are ill or recuperating as we turn to the inside back cover of the prayer book. And for a moment, I turn off the microphone as I read off names of people for whom we are praying. If you have other names that you'd like us to be including in our prayers, I invite you to call them out. For all these names, for the names we choose to say in our hearts and not say out loud, we pray together. O God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to them and to their dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked to theirs. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, the source of healing and health. So it is true, however, that even though Veterans Day is not supposed to be a day of remembering the veterans, we still remember those people who are veterans in our lives who are no longer with us. And Memorial Day is supposed to be a day of remembering those who are no longer with us, but it still gives us a renewed enthusiasm to appreciate the veterans who are still with us. And so on that note, we say, Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed and protected our ancestors guard all those whom we have entrusted with the responsibility of defending our freedom and protecting us in this country, in the land of Israel, and everywhere they have been called to serve. May they return home safely, and let us say, Amen. So we're not counting Omer. We don't have a new month. We're in the middle of the month. I want to talk to you for a second about the Torah portion this weekend. It's the longest Torah portion, but I'm not going to do the longest sermon. It talks about things that I look forward to talking to everybody about tomorrow, because it talks about something called the Sotah. And if you don't know what that is, then you're too young to know what that is, and everybody else should come tomorrow. It talks about something called the Nazir, and if you don't know what that is, you're not too young to know what that is, so you should come tomorrow. So those are my commercials. But towards the end of the Torah portion, it has something in it that is one of my favorite little teeny chunklets, even though the Torah portion it's 176 sentences long. It's the longest one of the whole Torah. But at the very end is the thing that at the end of services, for decades, I would lead services, and I love leading services. But at the end of the service, I would try to come up with something to say as a closing benediction. But as you know, because you are here, and as Margaret, whose memory should be a blessing, always would remind me that January, she remembered the date of the anniversary of when I was ordained, and I didn't. I would always be remembered with fudge. And she would remember, and I would remember where I was standing when she called me right after I was ordained. But as of that first Shabbat, when I came here and I was rabbi, and I was your rabbi, I got to say these words, and I cried. And I still cry when I say these words. And Bernard, I may need your help. Can you lift your arm or no? Come here, I need you. Yeah, just stand up and show us. So Bernard is our resident Kohen. Jeffrey, you're Kohen? Are you? Okay. So if you can you do it? So if you can do this, if you know Spock, we could do a Spock thing. The Kohanim have to put their hands up in this form, and it has to do with windows peeking through. And this is what they did, and we were instructed to do that. So that little chunk of words is in the Torah portion. And I love those words, and I wanted to give you some insights that, so you know that I am Rabbi Dr. Jana de Benedetti, and the guy that I am stealing from today, with his permission, is Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks. He was the chief rabbi of England, and it's even when you are called Lord, that's his title. It's Rabbi Lord. Pretty cool. I think that's really cool. But Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks, who, if you haven't watched his sermons or read it, he's always interesting. And I've got some tidbits from him that I wanted to share with you. First of all, not only is it one of the oldest prayer texts, but, and I didn't know this, that it appears in the oldest of all biblical texts that have physically survived today. In 1979, the archaeologist Gabriel Barkai was examining ancient burial caves at Ketef Chinom, outside the walls of Jerusalem, in the area now occupied by the Menachem Begin Heritage Center. A 13-year-old boy who was assisting Barkai discovered that beneath the floor of one of the caves was a hidden chamber. There, the group discovered almost 1,000 ancient artifacts, including 2 tiny silver scrolls no more than an inch long. That's really small. They were so fragile, silver, that it took them 3 years to work out a way of unrolling them without causing them to disintegrate. Eventually, the scrolls turned out to be kmayot, which are amulets, containing, among other texts, the priestly blessings. Scientifically dated to the 6th century before the Common Era. That's a very long time ago. I was just bragging about 100 years of poppies. 600 before the Common Era. The age of Jeremiah and the last days of the First Temple. They are 4 centuries older than the most ancient of biblical texts known hitherto, the Dead Sea Scrolls. Today, the amulets can be seen in the Israel Museum, testimony to the ancient connection of Jews to the land and the continuity of Jewish faith itself. That is an amazing find. I didn't know about that, and it's been around for a while, I guess. But part of what gives these prayers power is that they have a lot of, when you hear them in the Hebrew, which we do, I try to do that now every Friday night, there's this very powerful rhythmic structure. The lines have 3, 5, and 7 words respectively. In each of the lines, do you know what I'm talking about, by the way? Yevarechecha, Adonai, v'yishmarecha. 3 words. Ya'er, Adonai, panav elecha v'chuneka. The second word is Adonai for both of those lines. The third line is Yisa Adonai, second word again, panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. So first line has 3 words. The second line has 5 words. And the third line has 7 words. Not exactly a haiku, not a limerick, but a really powerful thing. It keeps building. But one of the things that I got that's kind of powerful that I hadn't thought of before from Rabbi Lord Sachs is that it says that there's a kind of a power to the direction that they take. He says that they travel inward, as it were. He says the first verse, may God bless you and protect you, refers, as the commentators in the Talmud say, to material blessings. It kind of blows your mind when you think about it. If it says, may God bless you, then why does God also have to protect you? I mean, isn't that kind of what you think of as a blessing anyway? Well, so the commentators, because those two words are together, said, well, obviously God is blessing you with wealth or stuff, because then God has to protect you because you've got so much wealth and stuff. It's not a bad thing to be blessed with. You know, God, you made many, many poor people in this world, right? Would it be such a bad thing if I were a wealthy man? Okay. So the first part is that it's about physical things. So then then it says that the second part says, may God make God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. It says that it refers to moral blessings. Chen, which is grace, is what we show to other people and they to us. It's interpersonal. It's when we talk about things between people. Here we're asking God to give us some grace so that we can show that to others and others can show it to us, so that maybe we can live together without the strife and envy that can so easily poison relationships. And the third part, which I told you, especially my Christian friends, they get really angry when I translate it as, may God's face always be lifted up to you, and may God grant you peace. Those are what the words mean. The Torah portion today is naso. It has to do with lifted up. It had to do with being counted. But it says, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, may God's face be lifted up to you. And Rabbi Lord says, the third is the most inward of all. There's a lovely story about a crowd of people who've gathered on a hill by the sea to watch a great ship pass by. A young child is waving vigorously. One of the men in the crowd says, why are you waving? And he says, I'm waving so that the captain of the ship can see me and wave back. The guy says, yeah, but you're so far away. There's a crowd of us here. What makes you think the captain can see you? Because, said the boy, the captain of the ship is my dad. He's going to be looking among the crowd for me. This is roughly what we mean when we say, may God lift up God's face to you. There are 7 billion people on the face of the earth. What makes us anything more than a face in the crowd, a wave in the ocean, a grain of sand in the seashore? The fact that we are God's children, God is our parent, God turns God's face to us, lifts us up, and God cares. That's what faith has to do with. And I love that interpretation. So I give that to you as well, because I love that prayer, and I hope you do too. There are some traditions that Bernard knows well, where you have to, the Kohanim bless us. I don't know if you've ever heard the story about how Mr. Spock picked that symbol, but it's really powerful about how he had grown up, and he was told when the Kohanim were doing the blessing, you're not allowed to peek, you're not allowed to look, but he peeked, and he knows that this is what they were doing with their hands, and he thought it would be a powerful gesture. So just know it's powerful. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. You can learn more about it. Now we're going to learn what's going on in the big world, Mr. President. What's happening at B'nai Zion? So, by the way, while he's coming up, the big table is still up here because I'm practicing with Ben and Luke for their B'nai Mitzvah, and so we need the Torah table out. It'll get put away by next week, but although the Bar Mitzvah is not till the end of next month. But the other thing that we realized is that they had a choice of standing on the step stool or lowering. This is a height adjustable thing. And they decided to lower it because it's hard to see the front row if it's too high. So part of the reason of being distracted today when I was looking is that the desk is about that much shorter than what I'm remembering. So it's like really hard to see from here. So on the short stand. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to the Sorky family for the blessings this evening. We are scheduled to place flags at the graves of the veterans this Sunday, which is the day before Memorial Day. We will be placing flags at the Jewish section at Greenwood Cemetery, Stoner Avenue, starting at 10 a.m. If you'd like to carpool, we will be leaving here at 9:45. The office will be closed Monday, May 28th, in observance of Memorial Day, from starting Tuesday, May 29th through Labor Day. Office hours will be 9 a.m. through noon. Ethical dilemmas from a Jewish perspective will be discussed this Wednesday at the Tower of the Oaks. Rabbi Jana will lead the discussion. Please contact Rabbi if you would like to attend. Next Friday, June the 1st, will be Simcha Shabbat, when we celebrate and honor everyone with birthdays and anniversaries in June. There will be another Mitzvah Day, Sunday, June 3rd, at the Food Bank. Please contact the office or Helene if you plan to help. Caleb Joseph will help lead services and be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah during Shabbat services June 8th and 9th at Agudath Achim. In order to celebrate as a community, we will not have services or Torah study at B'nai Zion that weekend. Throughout the weekend of June 15th through 17th, the rabbi and her husband from Omer, our sister community in Israel, will have special events at B'nai Zion and Agudath Achim. Friday, June 15th, the rabbi will be speaking at B'nai Zion during the 6 p.m. service, and Saturday she will be speaking at Agudath Achim at the 10 a.m. morning service. Please remember to thank Jewish Federation for hosting this event. Ben and Luke Muslow will lead service and be called to Torah as B'nai Mitzvah at the Shabbat morning service, 10:30 a.m. Saturday, June 30th, with a luncheon hosted by their family following the service. There will be no Torah study that morning. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for the pulpit flowers in loving memory of Ruth Kallenberg by Sandy and Jeffrey Kallenberg, in loving memory of Carl Levy by Henry Brenner, and in loving memory of Esther Selber Rosenthal and Aaron Selber Sr. by Mandy Selber. Thank you.
Thank you. And by the way, so of those things that are happening the weekend when our sister community is here, the rabbi and her husband, Sunday morning we're planning a brunch meeting where her husband is Adi, is a specialist in Israel history, and so he's going to be doing a slideshow presentation here at B'nai Zion on Sunday morning. So I hope that you join us for all or part of that weekend. Now, if you're under the age of 13, I would love for you to boing up the stairs quickly and open up the ark so that we can say our Aleinu on page 148. Boing, boing. I don't see anybody boinging. Boing, boing, boing. That's why I pick you. Boing, 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 boing. Page 148. Oh my goodness, this is the slowest boingers I have ever seen. Oh, we're getting faster. Building up momentum. Boing, boing. Boing, boing, boing. Please rise. Sorry. Oh, they're not white anymore. What? They're just pretty for Shabbat. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit gedula l'yotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, Va'anachnu, bend your knees, korim, and bend over, umishtachavim, umodim, lift up, lifnei melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. When the ark is closed, you may be seated, and we continue on page 150. Nice job. Nice. I like how carefully you're doing this. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Page 150. The day will come when all shall turn with trust to you, O God, hearkening to your voice, bearing witness to your truth. I invite you to please join with me. We pray with all our hearts, let violence be gone. Let the day come soon when evil shall give way to goodness, when war shall be forgotten, and all at last shall live in freedom. O source of life, may we, created in your image, embrace one another in friendship and in joy. Then shall we be one family, and then shall your sovereignty be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. The eternal God will reign forever and ever. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. So at this point, we remember that we are observing Memorial Day, which means that we remember everyone who died serving our country. We remember those who died this year in our military. We've lost, I still have 12 people who died, but I heard of 3 others this week, and they haven't made it to our site yet, and I'm sorry about that. We have 12 officially. We lost 5 police officers this week. We have 60 losses already in this country of police officers, including a new officer, a woman who was only in the service for 6 months in Monroe. 6 months, a young woman. We also lost another K-9 officer. We've lost 7 K-9 officers already this year, and we've lost 38 firefighters, including 2 from Louisiana. We are always grateful for everyone who runs into dangerous situations just to save our lives and protect us. We are always grateful. And I read them now because if they have not yet been buried, we do not say Kaddish for them, and some of them, we don't know their status, but they're in our hearts. We turn to page 151. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. And with your indulgence, I'm going to read something from the New Prayer Book. Because sometimes even in death we have hope, and I find hope in this. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women, I see God. And in my own face, in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and everyone is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. We continue on page 153. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us. In the past month, we're remembering Richard Stewart. I don't know if you got your message. It may surprise some people, but Richard did not know that he was going to die. This was a tragic and sudden loss. But he had, for a long time now, been saying that he did not want a funeral, and he did not want a memorial service. And we honor that, but it hurts nevertheless. And so we remember him in the Shloshim. We remember congregants' parents who died within the past year. We remember Stephen Muslow, and we remember Richard's mother, Janet Pachter Stewart, and we remember Henry Elaine Dreyfus. We remember Flo Selber, and we remember Gloria Meyer. And as we remember those who died at this season in years past, we take them into our hearts with our own. Those for whom we're observing yortzites this week include Georgiana Graves Bailey, Morris Barron, Gussie Chernick, Celeste Dreyfus, Gustav S. Friedman, Alvin Gardspain, Clara Goldman, Mortimer Hertzberg, Ruth Kallenberg, Carl Levy, Ralph Perlman, Keith Norman Rabinowitz, Esther Selber Rosenthal, Barney Rubin, Aaron Selber Sr., Molly Shanhouse, Robert Simon Trife, Mildred Lottie Werner. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154, and the translation is on the following page. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. And that in some sense is everyone on Memorial Day. You may be seated because before we partake of our Oneg Shabbat, or you leave for whatever you're leaving for, food, we have to bless our challah. So I need, guess who again? Are you going to boing? Anyone who's under 13? Boing, boing? Oh, this is boingier. Look at how boingy they get now. I wonder what's under here. What do you think? Come on. I think it's challah. It's a challah. We weren't surprised. Ready? Go. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. You take that, I take the board. Take it, take it, take it, take it, let go, let go, let go. Thank you. Whoa, please rise for that closing benediction, which is found in the Torah portion Naso, which is the longest Torah portion, and it has 176 sentences in it. You learned something today. Will we remember by the morning? Doesn't matter. You don't have to. It's okay. What happens on Shabbat stays on Shabbat. We're good. It is a blessing for us to be here together. I am so grateful to have everybody here worshiping with us on this beautiful day with the rumbly noises. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you, and may God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'choneka. May we learn about interpersonal relationships as God's face is smiling down on us, shining on us, and may God be gracious to us. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And may God find the thing that God wants to look up to us about. May God grant us peace. Shabbat shalom. Ein kelohenu, ein kadonenu, ein ke